We are the nation of domination. Oh man, that one was great.
I would have fit in perfectly with that faction.
Oh my goodness, wouldn't you though? Wouldn't you though? You would have been the character Owen Hart for sure, for sure. You know what I mean? R.I.P. Owen. You know what I mean?
Oh, rest in peace, Owen.
For real, for real.
By all accounts, the greatest prankster in backstage wrestling history.
Oh man, yeah, for sure, for sure. One of a kind, but always kind. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Ollie. All right. I swear I pulled up the. I thought I pulled up the show, but it just said no. Let me see. There we go. There we go. Now it's coming up. So, what's new with you? How was your week? It's like week 15 of quarantine and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very much like like every other fucking week. It's,
Yeah.
you know, the only difference being that this was one of those weeks where we had a pay-per-view as well. Yeah, very. I'm getting real bored with quarantine. I feel like it's just fucking annoying now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How about yourself?
Inversely, I am busy as a beaver building a dam factory.
Damn factory.
I didn't realize how much I had to do. Like, I knew I had work to do, but I didn't realize how much work I had to do at home. So I was just like, okay, I've had this time to just kind of, and I've had no excuses. It's like literally every excuse to get the work done because, like I'm not supposed to be going anywhere. So
yeah, exactly.
Except for, a couple of trips here and there to support local businesses and, attend appointments or meetings.
Yep.
I'm just, catching up on some sleep.
Attaboy, yeah,
catching up on some sleep and, trying to fit some exercise. Not even trying to fit, getting my exercise in because I got these resistance bands. I'm on my Jinder Mahal jump off.
Yeah.
Every week, bro. Every day, at least a half an hour. So, like it's sometimes 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but like I noticed a change and I'm feeling it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Like all jokes aside, man. Like it's definitely like I feel it getting tighter. I feel myself getting tighter. Like I feel the tone. You know what I mean? It's not just It's not just big anymore.
That's my second. Like, I feel myself being tired. It's like, all right, don't need to know about the Kegels. Let's stick to the workout.
Okay, whatever. Oh man. Oh, funny story. Oh man. So we're here on week 50.
Yeah, sir.
Week 50 of, my goodness, Tough Talks. Wow, we've been coming at y'all with some hits. Like, we on that WrestleMania stretch. We on the road to WrestleMania again.
Yes. Yeah.
Again.
It starts the day after WrestleMania ends.
Yep. Straight up. Speaking of road to WrestleMania, got to shout out Blanco Billions for inspiring. Well, got to shout out DK Lonely and Blanco Billions because DK Lonely found the beat and Blanco Billions named it. I just wrote the song, so you know what I mean. I'm looking to get that done. Within the week. So next week we can feature the track.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. But as for this, let's see what happened with the show Raw. Starting with Sasha Banks and Bayley and the Iconics interrupted Asuka before her match with Charlotte Flair. Sorry, I didn't say that right. Sasha Banks and Bayley and the Iconics.
Thank you.
Interrupted Asuka before her match with Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, they sure did. This was a weird little segment. Like I feel like Asuka and Charlotte, they're not really in a feud with each other at all right now. Sasha and Bayley and the Iconics are in sort of a feud right now, but they just kind of, I don't know, it felt like a smash up thing, like where they had two ideas but they didn't have time for both.
Yeah.
So they just put them both out there. Like hey, you do your script, and we'll see if it happens to work out. And it's mostly it did. I mean, you know, Asuka, whenever she's on camera lately, has just been fucking pure gold.
That's my girl right there. I'm not even gonna
Oh
lie.
yeah.
Like,
she's the shit.
Like, we all know the life interest is the number one, but like my on screen thing, you know what I mean? Like, I can't decide between Bayley and Asuka right now because Asuka doing that thing is like, you know what I mean? That's funny as fuck. What Bayley is just
so funny,
convincing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
well, and Bayley's been funny too lately with her, like, with how blatantly self-unaware her character is. Like, where, like, she is very much she's doing everything to blind herself from the fact that her and Sasha are not as friendly as they pretend they're being. You know what I mean?
I like the name. I like the team name, though. The Role Models.
Shout out to Role Models. That movie's amazing. If you haven't seen Role Models, go watch Role Models right now. And then come back to the show.
It's necessary. It's definitely necessary.
Role Models is the shit. That fucking movie is hilarious.
Oh my gosh. 100%.
But yeah, I mean, I think that is a good name. I think I wouldn't think that was a good name if they were going to stay a team. Like, if they're going to be together for the next, like, 6 months sort of thing, I'd be like, oh, my God, I don't want to talk about the Role Models. Like, that sounds awful. But the fact that they, like, it fits their, like I said before, incredible lack of self-awareness, like their characters' incredible lack of self-awareness.
Yeah, the
in
dramatic
doing
irony.
that. Yeah, because they're such cunts, to put it bluntly. Like, they're so rude and, like, cheating bitches, and, like, they're never doing the good guy thing anymore. And
Calling
now is when they're
idiots.
both the what?
Calling people stupid idiots.
Oh yeah, they're going full Chris Jericho with it.
Yeah.
And like, it's hilarious that now is the time that Bayley's like, I'm a role model. It's so good. I love that. I also really loved, I think it was on this Raw, when Bayley and Sasha came down to the ring. They stopped at the commentary table, and Michael Cole already was wearing a legit boss, like, knuckle thing that fucking Sasha has all the time.
Yeah.
Michael Cole was already wearing it, and so Sasha gave him her sunglasses, and Bayley's like, put them on, come on, we'll take a selfie, put them on. And as he's putting them on, they start taking selfies together, blocking him from the camera.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think that was this one.
That killed me. I thought that was so good. I thought even Michael Cole, who it's no secret I've had my problems with over the years with his calls, he played his part perfectly in that, and he was legitimately funny. Also amazing was Corey's reaction to it all, of being disgusted with Cole's fandom. Like, he wasn't disgusted by Sasha and Bayley, like, because he talks them up the whole time, but he was disgusted that Michael Cole was happy. He was just pissed off that Michael Cole had any joy in his life for a second.
It was
and
terrible.
It was so happy. It made me so happy. He was just shitting on him so hard.
Oh my gosh.
Just like, Jesus, Cole, will you pull yourself together? This little fangirl over here. Like, so good.
Anytime they come to town, they're gonna hear me in the crowd like, Corey. Hey, Corey. If that doesn't work, I'll be like, yo, Matt.
It's like like the old Simpsons episode where the nuclear power plant puts together the softball team full of ringers, and they get like fucking Daryl Strawberry and fucking Bart and Lisa in the crowd going, Daryl. And then Marge is like, kids, that's not nice. And they're like, they're professional athletes. It goes right off their backs. It zooms in on Jill Strawberry, and a single tear falls from his eye. Classic Simpsons is the shit.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
Transitioning to the match that resulted in, or the result of the previous exchange. Asuka and Charlotte Flair defeat the Iconics and Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Yeah. So this was just I don't know what like I said before, I mean, this doesn't really, the build-up didn't really make sense into this. It did very much still feel like, hey, throw these two things in the bucket and see if it's, good. But it was, like I said, it was still good. It just didn't have any, for me, it didn't have much implication in the long run. But yeah, Asuka and Charlotte looked great. They took down the two heel teams. So this was weird because it was a face and a heel versus two heels versus two heels. Quite a that's a strange combination. But yeah, like I said, you put these girls in a ring together, it's gonna work. I think it's gonna at least be entertaining.
Definitely. I mean, like, I saw this match and I was just like, okay, there's definitely going to be some moves here, and they did.
Yeah, exactly, and sometimes that's all you need.
Yep. Well, Rey Mysterio. You see, I did what I hate. You know when those commentators are talking and they have perfect English and shit until they get to a Latin name, it's like Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Rey Mysterio vowed to make Seth Rollins pay.
Yeah, I mean, so this I love the eye patch masks that Rey's got, like with the one eye covered. Very much keeping the start of the feud in mind and showing it off, like that's good shit. Rollins was being once again like just prime heel, so hateable. Wanted to punch him in the face every fucking time he opened his mouth. And then in came Aleister Black, who just started kicking the shit out of Rollins. And then it went to commercial and came back with
Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo defeated Murphy and Austin Theory.
Yeah, Aleister Black and the future disciple.
That's it, hey? There's no turning back now.
I'm keeping that out there, bro.
There's no turning back.
It's the only way to save that kid's career right now.
So when does he turn? When Rey gets back?
Yeah, absolutely. He's gotta turn on Rey and Dominic. He should beat the fuck out of Dominic and Rey, and then do some stupid high flying move off of a ladder that has no bearing on the match.
A corkscrew moonsault.
Yeah, he should do a corkscrew shooting star press off of the Performance Center.
Wow. Off of the Performance Center, he says. Not even the sign. Off of the top.
Off the Performance Center into the parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
If they want to put something down for him to land on, that's fine, I guess. But no, not necessary.
All right, Super Savage. Oh man. Oh, that's great. That sounds almost as venomous as Randy Orton when he promised to break Edge at WWE Backlash.
Very, very good segue. I mean, Randy has been putting in the fucking work on this feud. Like every time Randy cuts a promo during this feud, it's solid gold. There's nothing to fucking hate on about them other than like his, he is hateable in them, but his work is fucking top notch.
Yeah.
There's no like corniness in his delivery. Randy, when he's working with people he likes, is legitimately one of the greatest of all time. Like he's fucking unbelievably good at what he does, which it makes sense. I mean, grew up under Cowboy Bob Orton, so you gotta pick something up. But he picked everything up and then some. Because there's no doubt that he is one of those second-generation superstars who has vastly outperformed his father. And his father performed, but he's done very well for himself. Mr. Randall Keith Orton has.
I know I've caught myself doing the RKO pose every now and again, so.
Oh, you gotta.
Completing something successfully. I'm sure, you know what, when I go around and I do my title pictures, I'm probably going to bust out an RKO pose somewhere. Don't know where yet.
I bust RKO poses out every time I win a game of Warzone, motherfucker. Like, if I kill one motherfucker in Call of Duty and I'm like, hands up, breath in, like, son. And then, but yeah, so this happened during a beautiful little episode of the Peep Show, which we haven't seen in quite a while. But yeah, Christian came out, expressed some doubt in Edge, which brought that fire to Edge's eye, and Christian immediately was like, well, that's the look I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Mm-hmm. You can do this. And which was fucking amazing. Yeah. And yeah, this, like I said, this whole thing was just fucking lovely. Like, I love this feud, even though it's got so much space in between matches and the next section of the feud starting so far. Mm-hmm. It's fucking good stuff, man. Like, well, I don't understand how anybody can not like this feud.
Because they're not seasoned. I think some of the unseasoned ones, like the newbies, you know what I mean? The ones that are expecting like the high flying all the time kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They're not sure about the grit and the brawling. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not into that. But at the same time, like, I like a combination either way. Like, you're definitely not lying when you say NXT is like the best 2 hours of wrestling on TV.
Oh, yeah, every week.
The ratings aren't really showing that right now, but it's definitely... I think once the newness of AEW wears off...
Yeah.
They're going to pick right back up.
I think so, too.
So, yeah. But speaking of new, the decathlon between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders ended up in a 5-5 tie.
Yep. So... I've not been shy about how I feel about this storyline.
Nope.
I'm not afraid to give it credit either, though. Like, I've been very, very open to say the stuff I do like about it, and there are quite a few things I like. It's just as a whole, it doesn't sit well with me. This was of the segments. This was a really good one that they've done. I loved Ivar just fucking bowling through the fucking hurdles. Yeah. Literally not even knocking them over. Breaking through every last one of them as if it was as if it was a fucking tissue paper finish line in front of a fucking Mack truck. Like, with scissors.
For real.
Because they just split in half so perfectly. They must have been gimmicked, but like, holy shit, were they gimmicked well? And fucking big ups to my boy Angelo Dawkins. Fucking, he hit every one of those fucking hurdles like a motherfucking super athlete. He got like a foot over each one of them.
Oh my gosh, he looks like he's a foot in the air right now.
I'm saying, bro,
in the air right now.
He was killing them.
And he's a big dude.
Yeah, he ran faster than him while going over them. And fucking Ivar just running a straight line. So that shit was that was good. It was great because at the end of it, the Viking Raiders were the one who were like celebrating, and Dawkins and Montez are like, "Dog, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you celebrating about? You lost." And they're like, "What? You didn't break a single hurdle." They got mad at him because they're like, "You didn't break any of them." He's like, "You're not supposed. You're supposed to." He just started freaking out. Montez had to like, "Yo, just all right, let's let it go. We won that. Let's just move on."
Yeah.
and then there was a 1,600 meter dash, which was pretty funny. The great one was they did a sword fight. So one of the events was a sword fight, and I think it was Eric. Eric rolls up with a massive sword in his hand, and Montez has the same sword in his hand. He looks at it and goes, "Nah, fuck it," and drops the sword and leaves. He's like, "I don't want none of this shit."
Nah.
The dance off was pretty funny. Flip Cup was amazing.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the other highlight was once again against like I hate what it does to the characters, but it also think it was funny enough that I don't give a fuck at this point. Was Ivar doing the pole vault?
Oh my goodness!
Because fucking Montez does it, and obviously Montez is going to do it in stellar fashion. The man's incredibly like jacked and is a former Marine. Like the dude can do a fucking simple pole vault, but then Ivar does it like 3 feet higher than him and like gets mad height and fucking screams "Air Ivar" as he's going over the pole.
Oh my gosh!
That shit was great. Like that was a nice little throwback to his Air Ivar moment during the basketball shit.
Okay.
But it ended in the 5-5 tie, like you said, which meant they need a tiebreaker, which this was supposed to be a tiebreaker. So why didn't they pick something with an odd number of events?
That's a good question. I guess because the tiebreaker is supposed to be the title match.
But if you're trying to break a tie, right?
Of course. I get it.
You need to pick something you can't tie in.
Yeah. Just for the record, WWE.
Yeah, moving forward.
Yeah.
Logic is helpful.
Yeah, best of 7 series maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, best of 7 would be the way, right? But so we were to get the title match, which was the tiebreaker's tiebreaker at Backlash.
But before that, we have Andrade defeating Angel Garza and Kevin Owens to earn a United States Championship match at WWE Backlash.
This was a fucking match. Like, this was spectacular shit. Kevin Owens, incredible. Andrade, incredible. And Angel motherfucking Garza. I read a report yesterday, backstage report, that Vince McMahon definitely agrees with me on Angel Garza being a fucking superstar. Because Vince McMahon has said that he thinks Angel Garza is a young Eddie Guerrero. Like he said, he apparently the quote was something along the lines of like he reminds me of Eddie.
Wow.
Which I love that. I love that comparison. That is a huge compliment to Angel Garza, especially coming from Vince, because Vince McMahon, if anybody is unaware of this, Eddie Guerrero is one of Vince McMahon's favorite wrestlers of all time. Like, Vince loved Eddie. Treated him like a fucking king. So, like, that, just to put that out there for everyone. Don't sleep on my boy Angel Garza.
Wake up. Garza's going places.
Yeah, and I've been saying that since he got passed over for the NXT call-up for fucking Humberto. That man is a star. But yeah, this match was fucking incredible. Kevin hit some amazing moves. He did a plancha over the top rope. He did this awesome 3-hit cannonball, like corner to corner to corner again.
Okay.
And yeah, Zelina tried to get involved. She got knocked down. That caused her to give both of my boys the business after the match. She yelled at both of them, said it was both of their fault. Seems to kind of place a bit more of the blame on Andrade, though. So I wonder if Andrade is not going to be in that faction much longer. You know, it kind of seems like they're breaking them up one member at a time till it's only my boy. Also, it was hilarious. I think it was this episode of Raw right before this. Maybe there was a backstage segment where Angel brought Charlie a rose.
Yeah.
Like backstage.
Oh yeah.
She's like completely smitten. Like, I'm surprised Angel didn't slip when he was walking out the fucking shot. That girl's in love with him. He gave her the rose and walked away, and then fucking Zelina Vega literally pulls every petal off of that rose at once and just throws them into Charlie's face in a ball, and they all just explode into her face. And Charlie's face, she was so heartbroken. Like, it was.
She was torn, bro. She was so torn.
It was unbelievable. That was an amazing backstage segment. Good shit.
Yeah.
Everything they do with those guys is perfect.
And that led to Bobby Lashley and MVP defeating the Viking Raiders.
Boo. I mean, like, that was boo. I love Bobby Lashley usually, like, before they started fucking up his character again in WWE. But, like, the Viking Raiders should have won this match. They're so big, and MVP is so old. I will say this, though. Rare moment coming in. Big props to MVP coming. Okay. His Punisher gear with that red Punisher symbol on the chest.
Yeah.
Fire. That's fire. That's an amazing ring gear for him. And if he ever wrestles in anything again, I'll forget that was so awesome, and I'll never give him a compliment ever again in my life. But yeah, no, that was when the second I saw that skull, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, my man's going all like Marvel. I like it. But yeah, I mean, it was overall it was a good match, and it was all just to build up Bobby to look strong going into Backlash against McIntyre. Because I'll tell you one thing, you can see it right here by the thumbnail on that video. They didn't put MVP over.
Nope.
Like, MVP got squished a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eric got caught in the full Nelson. The full Nelson, to me, doesn't seem like the best finisher for Bobby. How about you?
I think the way he adds the shake to it kind of makes it vicious. So it
definitely makes it more vicious.
It's like the torture rack kind of thing, a different version of the torture rack.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like, and I think for them to use that move, the way they do as a debilitating move, and the way it's sold, like the way they sell it, it makes it worthwhile. And I remember back when who was it? Oh man, I remember back in the days when it used to be a finisher.
It used to be for sure. I mean, hell, the cross-face chicken wing used to be a fucking.
Ooh, that one
used to be a brutal finisher. I'd love to see him do the cross-face chicken wing. That's something like that. Yeah, that would be devastating. That is a stand-up submission that I can legitimately buy into every single time, no matter who's doing it too. I mean, Marty Scurll uses it in New Japan and Ring of Honor right now, and Marty Scurll's a little dude, but he's doing it as a tribute to Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
Who, shout out to Bob Backlund. I fucking love you, buddy. He's a legend. He's such a weirdo. Whenever you go back and watch somebody go back and watch the fucking old Bob Backlund and fucking tell me that that's not hilarious work. That dude was a genius.
Definitely.
But Marty Scurll does it, and he literally just screams, "Chicken wing!" every time he does it.
Oh, man.
Every time he's about to lock it in, he screams chicken wings.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
It's pretty goddamn good. But
Great.
that's a scary-ass looking stand-up submission. I'd like to see Bobby use that. With the full Nelson, I think what would fix it for me a bit more, I'd love to see him do it the way he's doing it, like keep that shake and everything, right?
Yeah.
But after the shake, don't let them submit. You know what I mean? Like, after he shakes them,
Yeah.
lift that motherfucker up and hit him with the full Nelson slam, and then pin that bitch. Like, because Bobby Lashley's a scary man. He's jacked all the way up.
Yeah. And I think that's why they sell it. That's why he sells it.
For sure. And he's a legit MMA artist, so it'd be wicked to see him pull, like, a slam into that as well. Because I guess what it would remind me of, it sort of remind me of not Rashad Evans, Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Okay.
Rampage Jackson has the greatest slam KOs of all time, including the single greatest slam KO of all time against Ricardo. What's his name? Ricardo Arturo, I think his name was.
Okay.
It was in Pride. I want to say in 2004. He was getting caught in a triangle almost on the ground.
Yeah.
And he literally from the ground on his knees put his feet underneath him and stood right up and then lifted Ricardo Arturo up and then just slammed him straight to the ground like a full-on powerbomb and then just went in with the elbows. And it was over before the elbows even started. Like, he was unconscious from the slam.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I think Lashley, with his size and, like, his pure, like, his presence, like that intimidating force that he is, it would look so savage if he didn't allow people to give up. Like, I'm putting you out. You're not tapping out. I'm going to put you out. But yeah, either way, like I like some of what he's doing right now. I feel like he's kind of getting lost in the shuffle of the story around his managers.
Okay.
Like, there's too much shine on MVP and too much shine on Lana, with almost none left over for Lashley.
Yeah.
And like when you give a big guy a mouthpiece, you want there to be one voice who's building up the talent, right? Like the same way,
sure.
like Elizabeth bigged up Macho Man all the time, right? Heyman bigs up Lesnar all the time. Bobby the Brain Heenan bigged up countless motherfuckers. Andre, everyone.
Yeah, you got Jimmy Hart, who bigged up Hogan.
Jimmy Hart pulling out the goddamn the goddamn megaphone to let motherfuckers know what a badass his boy was. Like, he had the flash, but all the shine still went on to his boys.
Yep.
So like I feel like that's the thing that's missing with the Lashley MVP Lana triangle, is it just feels so strange that there's so much attention on MVP, who is a recent-ish return to the fold, and Lana seems to be on way.
Yeah. Or like maybe Rusev's on his way back in.
Or Rusev's on his way back in. That's what I mean, spoilers, I was hoping for that at Backlash.
Oh.
But, like, god damn it, did I want Rusev back. Rusev coming back would be fucking awesome.
That would be. It definitely would be. Because, like, I still remember his first appearance. And,
when he first showed up?
Yeah, at Royal Rumble. Like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Why the fuck he's so huge? Look at him destroy these people.
So jacked. So, like, another guy who's so fucking intimidating just with his mere size. But then, unlike, most guys who are that shredded out and everything, he is just dripping with charisma, too. Like, everyone loves Rusev. Everyone loves Rusev.
Rusev Day.
that should not have been able to get as over as it got. Like,
I have no idea how it got over so well. What it did.
I don't know. Like, I loved it. And, like, I rail against corny shit a lot on wrestling. For Rusev Day, I was all in on. I wanted that fucking calendar they sold twice and sold out of in a day each. Like,
wow.
Rusev Day was the shit. And like bringing in Aiden English as the Team Rusev Day and Lana Day, and the song they made for Lana is the best, Lana number one. Like, that was hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a bit of a Rusev diatribe, but, you know, we love our Bulgarian brute on Tough Talks with Thili in the block.
That's it. That's what's up in the building.
Yeah.
Transitioning now. See, the transition isn't as smooth when you announce that it's a transition, but I did anyways. Charlotte Flair defeats Asuka.
Both these girls pulling double duty.
Yep.
Also, did you notice? It took me a minute, and I don't think I even noticed it until right now. But I did notice it during Backlash. You notice, like, almost everyone is wearing all black.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, bro.
They do.
You know,
they do.
Everybody's showing support. Like, that's it. It's clearly that. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that during all this, all three women's teams in the women's tag team triple threat were wearing only their black gear, when all those girls are colorful as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True. I even just saw this.
As I'm scrolling. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I even just saw this thing that says defund the police on WeTransfer. I'm downloading some songs for the next episode of the Terrell Effect while we're, you know, going in between some of this stuff, and it's just like, yeah, it's crazy how many people are actually behind this.
Well, you know, it's just one of those things, man. Like, and just on that part, I was listening yesterday. You know, belated posthumous birthday to Tupac Shakur. Tupac's birthday was yesterday.
All right.
And we had Tupac playing at the bakery like all night while we were baking.
Okay.
God damn it, that motherfucker was just like the realest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That song, like the song "Changes" came on last night, and the girl I was working with, she's from Kenya.
Okay.
And she's not like super familiar with like Pac.
Okay.
Or like much, you know, rap from U.S., Canada, and stuff.
Yeah.
But when she was like, when is this from? And I'm like, 96, 90, you know? And she's like, he should still be alive today. So that was heartwarming. One of those things where the second she heard him, her reaction to hearing Pac was not just, oh my god, this guy's really good. It was, he should be alive today. Like, he should be alive to see what's going on. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Do you want to have... Sorry to interrupt. So I just got a message from Showtime, Brett Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just wondering, do we want to set him up for after the next pay-per-view?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Oh, no, I mean, that was it.
Okay.
While we were talking about the Violent Night thing, I thought that was a cool little thing that happened for someone who's not from here, you know, someone new to the music and stuff like that, being so immediately drawn in.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah. Next we had, what do we have? Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess that's it for that one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charlotte and Asuka, we didn't even talk about the match. I realized because I got caught up with realizing they were both wearing all black in the thing.
Yeah. No, we didn't talk about the match.
Yeah, I mean, it was a damn good match. It's, you know, non-title, so it was just, I'm gonna fuck you up because I'm better than you, type thing. But then, the Iconics and the role models, they attacked at the announcer's desk. So, yeah, I mean, this was a really, really fun match overall. Lots of it was just strange how much double duty they had all the girls play. Like, all the girls had to do double duty for this Raw.
Well, putting them to work, bro. That's what they
it's
want.
About time. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Telling you.
Oh,
So,
100%.
yeah, can you do
I like that they had another main event.
Okay. Can you do a Sunday?
Yeah, can we do scheduling off the air?
Okay, sorry. Yeah. We'll do the scheduling off the air. Sorry, y'all.
Do the podcast, man.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. So, yeah, getting back to the show, because I'm trying to multitask here. I didn't realize that we're already at the end of Raw, so I gotta pull up SmackDown, which was another show I got to see most of this week. My schedule is finally cooperating with me. But now I gotta wait for this to load. This is the part where we tell you Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock is brought to you by Expose the North and Tube Gang. Both organizations here equipped to provide you with entertainment value for your party needs.
Party needs.
Oh, man.
I sell parties and party accessories.
Yeah, we got it.
Propane and propane accessories.
We got it. We here. Oh, man. Okay, so there we go. It's finally loaded up. We want to hear from you. Take their exclusive survey. Not yet, no. All right, Friday Night SmackDown results for June 12th start as follows with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro defeating the New Day.
Yeah, this is a great match. It was fun seeing Shinsuke and Cesaro in the ring again, doing like an actual a match rather than just doing backstage things or interference stuff. Like, I feel like neither of those boys get used very much anymore. Sorry, which is strange, because they're both fucking unbelievably talented. The New Day, always fucking fantastic, always fun. I miss Xavier.
Oh, yeah. I paid homage to him in that track.
Yep, yes you did.
Yeah.
I miss having Xavier Woods out there. Hopefully his rehabbing is going along well for his his leg.
For his what?
Was Xavier Woods' injury a leg injury?
Yeah, it was a leg injury. It was like his knee or something like that.
It was his knee, right? Like a torn ACL or something like that?
Yeah. I think it was your boys that did it too.
Yeah, left knee. Yeah, left knee injury. Yeah, it was at a house show in Texarkana.
Wow.
That's a fucking hilarious city name.
I don't even know where that is.
It's in Arkansas. It's a real hick town.
Why is that not pronounced Arkansas?
Well, because...
You know what I mean? No? How's it? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I am lucky enough that instead of seeing it for the first time, I guess it's because there's no S at the end of Texarkana. But I'm lucky enough that I heard that in like old Steve Earle songs when I was a kid before I ever had to read it. So the first time I ever saw it, I was like, oh, Texarkana. That is a real place.
Wow. All right.
Supposedly.
Now, for those of you who follow along and realize we skipped NXT, we're going to double up on that next week.
Yes.
But we got AJ Styles defeating Daniel Bryan in the Intercontinental Championship match.
And new.
Don't get me started. Awesome. Don't even get me started.
Awesome match. AJ and Daniel always will put on a great match. There's 0 times you can point to where they have faced each other in the last 2 years since Daniel came back that has been anything less than awesome. They're two of the greatest alive right now, I would say. for like in-ring technical proficiency.
Okay.
And yeah, they're just fucking spectacular. There's amazing sequence where Daniel had gotten AJ down and was waiting, and then he ran to do his, Daniel's crazy-ass flying knee. Yep. He was running at him to do the flying knee, and AJ caught him midair right into a fucking Styles Clash. And not even like a half-assed, like, get it out quick so it's fast Styles Clash. A perfect Styles Clash. So that was good because we haven't seen a Styles Clash in, like, probably a couple months. Which is, I think, is actually a good thing because AJ's got so many finishers that the Styles Clash gets to stay protected and stay special.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when they first brought him in, they had him doing it, like, every week. Especially in that, what was that feud? Who is my man with no chin?
Not Hornswoggle. Ellsworth.
No.
Ellsworth.
James Ellsworth.
Yeah. Who's my dude with no chin?
And I ain't talking about Jim Norton. Shout out Jim Norton.
Oh, shit.
AJ Styles was hitting James Ellsworth with the Styles Clash, like, twice a week. Like, because remember that one he almost killed James Ellsworth? And
yep.
James Ellsworth almost killed himself, and AJ had to save his life by letting go. When he jumped off the steel steps and Styles clashed him off the steps, that was fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that move getting to be more rare, I think, just builds that move as being, scarier and more impressive.
Mm-hmm. Definite.
So yeah, and he looked great with that new title belt too. That new that beautiful IC title, kills it.
That's next.
Yep.
Oh man! All right, and then we have Braun Strowman and Heavy Machinery defeat Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, and John Morrison.
Yeah. So Miz and Morrison continue to be fucking hysterical. Those guys have great chemistry together. You can tell they're boys, because their timing with their jokes is just way too good to be like manufactured. I also, thank God, I've said this for the last 2 weeks. Tucker is back though, and that is awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that Tucky came back made me real happy. Did you see the backstage segment with where Tucky came back?
Yeah.
That killed me. Where he's holding up plates of different like meats and stuff under Otis's nose and having him say what they are.
Yeah.
And then Mandy comes up and gives Otis a kiss while Otis has the blindfold on, and Otis just goes, "Oh, Tucky, I appreciate it, but
Oh man."
He thought Mandy's giant pouty lips were fucking Tucky's disgusting lips. That's fucking hilarious. That killed me. I was crying. He also thought it smelled like a peach when she was walking up. That was a nice touch. Run into everybody thing.
Oh man.
So he does that. Dolph gets back in the ring. Braun points at Strowman and yells "Caterpillar."
Yep.
And then Otis does the Caterpillar. It's fucking
Dolph.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good comedy match. Like, everything about it was good.
Yep.
Ziggler was bumping like a motherfucker, that's for sure. He was taking all of the bumps. And once again, Miz and Morrison's chemistry right now is hard to fuck with. Like, one of my favorite comedy moments in WWE of this year has definitely been not Charlie and not Dasha. Who's the other girl who got slimed?
Kayla.
Yeah, Kayla Braxton. Kayla getting slimed, and the look of pure hatred and anger in her eyes as she realizes what Miz and Morrison have done to her. And Braun told, I'm so sorry, Kayla. I know those two jackoffs were behind this. And Kayla's just the fury in her voice when she said those bastards.
Yep.
That's why they played that moment back so many times. Her fury was so perfect.
It was.
And just as good, obviously, was Miz and Morrison's like, I told you to put it on the left. I did put it on the left. Stage left. You didn't say which left was stage left. He's like, why would you say stage left? I said left. Well, a little bit gone, Braun. Win? Yeah, a little bit gone. Win. Like, you know what? We're awesome.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So good. So good. Such good shit. Their whole, the shtick of them being in the van, trying to watch the pranks unfold, and the van being flipped over with them in it. Real good shit. And Morrison's always fun to watch in the ring, because that motherfucker does really good shit in there. He takes crazy bumps.
Yeah,
but
man. He does
his parkour shit is spectacular.
Wild. Just wild. Just
so good.
Wild.
What's his finisher called again? The Pain?
Starship Pain.
Starship Pain.
Yeah.
It looks great every time.
It's a split-legged corkscrew moonsault.
Yeah, and he never fucks it up.
Ever.
I've never once through his first run in WWE, through his time in TNA as Johnny Impact, his time on Lucha Underground as Johnny Lucha. I've never seen him miss it, or even slightly fuck it up. It looks amazing every time. He's like a video game. The dude is like a fucking video game character.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like somebody's in the back pressing the button, and it just happens the right way every time because he's a fucking machine.
It's possible. It is possible.
He's goddamn good shit. So that brought us to Backlash. WWE Backlash.
I don't even remember who it was sponsored by.
Probably Snickers.
All right, so the pre-show, from what I gather, had Apollo Crews defeat Andrade with Angel Garza and Zelina Vega in a singles match for the WWE United States Championship.
Yep, Apollo Crews doing his goddamn thing, man. I love it. I hope they give him a real good United States Championship run. I hope, and not just long, because long is fine, but what's better is for it to be more impactful. Have him doing crazy matches. Have him doing the open challenge every week on Raw. Have him doing things with this title. Because Shinsuke was IC champion for a while. He defended it twice.
Yep.
And because of that, I don't think his IC run is going to be remembered past 2020. In 2021, it's going to be one of those things where he'll win something, and we'll be like, oh, he'll be in a match, and someone will say, oh, former Intercontinental Champion. It's you know what I mean? It's kind of just a note on things he's done.
Like a footnote.
Exactly. Whereas, what I would have wanted for him was to be, out there killing it every week.
Yeah.
So far so good with Apollo, because he's already defended his title as many times as Shinsuke did.
Yeah, you're on the right track, Apollo.
Keep
it going. All right, what else do we got here? We got Bayley and Sasha Banks defeat Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross and the Iconics.
My girls did not pick up those straps this week.
Billie Kay and Peyton Royce in the triple threat tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, they did. My girls did not pull that out. I really thought they were going to do it, man. I really thought they had set something up perfectly. I wasn't disappointed with the match though. It was a good match. And Bayley and Sasha were real good in it. Alexa and Nikki were really fun in it. And I mean, of course, the Iconics were just fucking. They're awesome. They were so hateable. They're the thing where they both start going really high pitch during matches because they're like either excited or like in a panic to try to get something done. It never stops making me laugh. It's so good. They're like cartoon characters.
Yeah, they're definitely. I don't know, man. They're like, I want to say they're like American villains. Like I want to say like they're almost like not quite anime villains, but they kind of, they could.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely villainous.
They remind me of, this is deep cuts. They remind me of the Ashleys from Recess.
Oh, okay.
Remember the Ashleys?
Yep.
Like, whatever, and scandalous. Like,
yep.
They remind me of them. And, like, Nikki Cross is Spinelli. So, like, just a little badass. But, yeah, I love everything about those two. I love everything about Alexa and Nikki. All three of these teams are filled with people that I love. I want to see the women's tag titles have a real good run of defenses and storylines for the titles, not just for the single feuds that are being set up.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I totally misread the next thing, by the way. Sorry. I just had a real fucked up fucking thing where I thought they wrote cunt out in the in that title, and I was like, what is a cunt out?
Wow.
I was like, that's a real harsh way of saying wardrobe malfunction.
Wow. You know what I mean? But what it did say after Sheamus defeated Jeff Hardy.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. It's so small. That was a long match.
Yeah.
Sheamus and Jeff Hardy was a long ass match, 16 minutes and 50 seconds. They had the second longest match on the card.
Yeah.
Very interesting move. We didn't really talk about it because it didn't have its own section on SmackDown. Did you see the contract signing?
No.
It was weird.
Okay.
Sheamus said he wouldn't sign the contract unless Jeff took a drug test.
Oh, I heard, but I didn't see. Okay.
So he brought a doctor out with him who was the most evil-looking doctor I've maybe ever seen.
Okay.
He didn't look friendly or helpful. And he was standing behind Sheamus, looking at Jeff disapprovingly. And every time Sheamus ragged on Jeff for being a piece of shit or all this stuff, the doctor was smiling and nodding to all of Sheamus's barbs, which was doesn't seem right. And he was holding this giant container. I'm not kidding you when I say this thing could hold a liter of liquid, a full-on liter.
Wow.
And then they had this little square thing that Jeff had to walk in that was about up to just over his belly button, and he had to provide a urine sample in the middle of the ring that the doctor would then test for an instant result. As it was being tested, Jeff took the piss back and threw a full liter of piss into Sheamus' face, beard, and hair.
Ugh. Ugh.
Sheamus sold that shit like it was real piss because Sheamus looked fucking horrified by the whole thing.
Oh, man.
So you can see maybe why he wins that match in the in storyline, because I think anybody throws a liter of piss in my face, beard, and hair, I'm winning whatever fight I have with them too.
Yeah.
and I don't mean this as unbelievable as in amazing. I mean this is in literally not believable, unbelievable amount of piss for a man to produce in 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
Like, I've gone to bed after drinking a lot of whiskey and woken up, real late with the gotta go right now thing of it all. And I didn't have that much piss.
Yeah, no, I've drank like a liter of water before I got to sleep. Like within the hour of going to sleep and still not woken up like that, so.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. That was a little strange, but still fun. Fun segment. The match was awesome too. Like they went hard. They hit they really went stiff.
Yeah. Hard hitting. And then we have, oh my goodness, we have Asuka, the champion, defeats Nia Jax as the match ends in a double countout.
Yeah, Asuka retains, nobody wins. It's a dusty finish, baby. Nobody wins, nobody goes over.
Yep.
And honestly, that classic Dusty sentence is pretty much all that can be said about this match. Nobody goes over, nobody wins.
Yep.
Because this did nothing for either of them.
Nope. Not at all, really.
At all. It was 9 minutes of smacking each other, followed by 10 seconds of them not being able to stop smacking each other outside the ring. So, yeah, a double count of is very rarely fun. Like, it's only usually fun if it's a believable, uncontrollable brawl going on. Like, where they've just lost all care for the match and they're hitting each other.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, this wasn't good. This was a bad match, and this was a bad finish.
Well, speaking of finishes, we're almost close to the end. But Braun Strowman defeated The Miz and John Morrison in a 2-on-1 handicap match for the WWE Universal Championship Blue Edition.
The Blue Universal Championship.
The Blue Universal Championship.
I can, as I'm looking at this chart here with our run times and stuff, I can't believe the Braun, Miz, and Morrison match was 7 minutes long. I watched that and it went by quick. Like, Braun really gave them he made them reap the rewards, quote unquote, for their 2 weeks of pranks.
Oh yeah.
he slammed the fuck out of both of them. He did the run around the ring and knock them both into 60 flips in a row before they touched the ground again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe he got Morrison at the end and caught him midair, big old power slam, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And still.
The WWE Blue Universal Champion.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman. I'm just practicing because y'all gonna hire me when you come to town. That's what's up.
I think it was after this match, but I just realized because it's not written anywhere.
Yep.
But Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders. They were gonna have a backstage. They thought they were having a Raw Tag Team Championship match. They were in the back, and they ended up having not a match at all. They had one of the cinematic fights, and it was pretty fucking funny. The ninjas showing up was clutch. Like, that was real funny. With Akira Tozawa, my boy.
Aki.
Yeah, and then and what was the other part of it? They when fucking they hit, who was it? Who got thrown through the wind? Ivar. got thrown through the like window of the door at some building near the performance center, and was on the ground with Dawkins, and they're both like covered in broken glass. And as they're getting up, fucking Ford and Eric come in, and they're both even like, oh my god, what are we doing? But they're kind of thinking about, and Ivar's first words out of his mouth are, why did you throw me through a window? So quickly, he's like, what the fuck? And then like, cause you brought a bowling ball. and he's like, well, you guys brought golf clubs. So them fighting over like the little minute details of who was cheating more was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, and then they became the Viking Prophets.
That was pretty fucking funny because they were really leaning into the Power Rangers of it all.
Oh my gosh, were they ever?
Like, if anybody's gonna try to tell me that wasn't directly inspired by Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they can fuck right off. Like, I'm sorry, but everything was shot exactly like the old Power Rangers was.
The jump cuts? The jump cuts
where you can tell they're like, okay, do this and cut. And then, like, everyone resets and does it one more time sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was so Power Rangers, it was crazy. Even the fucking animation for them becoming the Viking, the Street Raiders or
the Viking Prophets.
It was the Viking Prophets. Okay, I couldn't remember. But like the animation for that came up was like almost them going, Megazord and all that shit.
I'm telling you, all they were missing was a hiya! See,
yeah, exactly.
Hiya!
Yeah, exactly. And for the ninjas to be the clay face guys.
Yeah.
So like it was unbelievably Power Rangers, and that was really nostalgic for me. I liked that.
Yeah.
Then they did. Then the 7-foot ninja came in.
Oh my gosh, was he? I thought it was Shaq, bro.
Oh my god! I thought it was fucking our boy Titus. I thought it was worldwide. I thought it was a worldwide reunion.
Worldwide.
As it was happening, I thought he was going to, like, as he was holding the sword and the camera stayed on him for so long.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to take off his mask and just hand straight up to the side of his head. Whoa, what? I was hoping for that desperately.
Oh man.
Wasn't to be. It was not either. It was not Shaq or him. It was new recruit for the NXT Performance Center who has been studying under the Outsiders, which I like. I like that they've got two of the most legendary big men kind of there to give him the ropes. Mm-hmm. Our boy Diesel said, Kevin Nash said a great line where he said, he's like, and I'm around, so he doesn't have to worry about an Oz 2 gimmick. Remember when he was Oz?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Fucking the second worst gimmick for a big man ever. I think the worst one might have been Festus.
No,
who is my boy, Big Luke Gallows.
What about flipping the Shocker?
Shockmaster?
Shockmaster.
That's the greatest gimmick ever.
You're talking bags right now. Clear them out. You're talking bags.
It's not WCW's fault Tugboat couldn't break through a wall.
Oh my gosh.
And ruin his own whole career. That was fucking hilarious. No, that is one of the worst gimmicks of all time. That boy was wearing a bedazzled Stormtrooper helmet.
That's all it was.
As if it wasn't copyrighted shit.
As if.
It was straight up the Star Wars officially branded Stormtrooper helmet from Toys R Us from fucking '93, and they bedazzled the shit out of it with the ugliest possible color. It was like this weird off purple.
It was like a bluish purple, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a weird off purple bullshit thing. And then his stupid his fucking Captain Caveman goddamn fur vest with no shirt on underneath. Oh, that poor bastard. But I will say, thank God for that happening. Thank God that guy ruined his career with that, because I watch that clip like, I don't know, 8 times a year. It's so perfect. Like, everything about it is so good. One of the best things ever is if you listen really close, you hear Ric Flair in the background going, "Oh God."
Oh no.
It's so good. He's just like, "Oh God."
Oh man.
And then they had people off stage doing his voice and shit. Oh, that was spectacular.
Oh man.
But anyways, after the sword guy, they were like, "Nah, we ain't having that," and they ran away.
Yep.
They ran onto the top of a truck, which this is where it got weird. Or not, I mean, this is not where it got weird. It got weird right at the beginning when
I was about to say
a bowling ball on his shield, I guess. But logically, like for the logic set up within this story, what was strange to me was that they were on top of the production truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they Dawkins and Eric kind of left, leaving Ford and Ivar on that truck. And then Ivar and Ford, like, I can't remember, they were talking. I think they were arguing with each other about who beat the ninjas. They were like, "We beat the ninjas." No, we beat the ninjas. So Ivar and Montez were still arguing. Dawkins and Eric left. And then when they went to catch up to them, like, they ran.
Yeah.
They ran to another truck. Like, they were just on top of a second truck somewhere. What? I don't understand. That's a weird thing. I guess they're still hiding from the ninjas?
Maybe.
But then they start fighting each other, and they throw each other into a dumpster, where they had to get this joke in here somewhere. And it was awesome. My girl, WWE Lady Ref on Twitter, WWE Lady Ref Jessica Carr, appeared above it and was like, "What are you guys doing? Like, what the fuck?" Basically scolding them and saying, "You guys are absolute idiots. Your match is next. Like, you're supposed to be starting a match next." And then she looks at him and she goes, Ivar, you're pretty cute. Eric, not so much. And then walked away.
Yep. The running joke.
And then immediately, fucking Montez Ford comes in with that angelic voice of his. And he's going, "She wants Ivar and not Eric." And just singing about it. And that was the other thing. The only other part that I didn't really like about this segment, like, besides the stuff I've not liked going through, right?
Yeah.
Is those weird little dream segments that they did when Ivar would get, like, smashed in the head by something, and all of a sudden he'd have a dream about all the girls saying he's cute and Eric wasn't, and then they hit him again in the head, and he has the dreams of all the turkey legs brought out.
Yeah.
That part was a little bit, like, too corny for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they straight up did the whole, like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air style wipe on it, with the fucking things getting blurry and, like, "This is a dream," like shit. But other than that, like, this was overall, like, of this the whatever you can do, I can do better tournament, I think this was the best segment that they had.
Okay, yeah, they closed it off real well. They ended it like, if the rivalry were to end at this point, it would make sense.
Yeah, because they'd just be tied, and it would be like, all right, listen, whatever you can do, we can do equally as well, but no better or worse.
Exactly.
Like, just fucking, just do that and let them both move on to matches and make the Viking Raiders scary.
Then bring it back around during the Survivor Series again.
Yeah, like have them competing to fill the last 2 slots on the Raw Survivor Series team.
Yep. Yep, there you go.
That'd be fun. I'd be okay with that.
You're welcome, WWE.
Again,
man. Well, that being said, we got Drew McIntyre, the champion, defeating Lashley with MVP in a singles match for the WWE Heavyweight Championship.
Yep, big shout out to Lana for helping Drew retain. That was once again the match was fine, like it was fun. Drew and Bobby did exactly what I said they were gonna do. They were fucking stiffed, like they were punching the shit out of each other repeatedly. The slams, there was no holding back on those either. The problem I have with it, yet again, is there were 3 people that got any sort of shine from this match. Drew McIntyre being one, rightfully so. Lana and MVP being the other 2. Unfortunately, I don't see much of what this did for Bobby.
Welcome to society, bro.
Well, MVP got shine, and he didn't have to do anything.
I don't know how much he counts towards the whole situation, bro.
Oh, shit. MVP?
I don't know.
Block's calling out your black card.
Honestly,
he's demanding proof of your African American Express.
Yo, I'm showing you. It's like I don't really know. You know what I mean? Like his demeanor isn't that of which. Like he it's not like it doesn't seem like he's been like I can't say what he's been through, but just his demeanor on the camera is just like I'm better than that. I'm better than the struggle. Like if you came from the struggle, you can't be better than the struggle because it's the struggle that made you. You know
100%.
what I mean?
But let's break kayfabe for a second.
Yeah.
MVP's a legit dude. MVP is from all reports woke as fuck.
Okay.
And very much on that get woke, stay woke tip. Like he tries to explain stuff to people, and tries to get I can't remember who it was. Somebody was crediting MVP with really opening their eyes to a lot of Black Lives Matter issues. Things.
I have seen him present at some speak at some events. So I'm not, like I was saying, I'm not discrediting the man. I'm just saying in a general sense
Oh yeah, no, I know. I just wanted to make sure that we did say that we're not saying that
he's not doing anything. So don't go and say, "Oh, did you hear these 2 people on this podcast say that you're not doing nothing?" I never said that. And I will shit on MVP's in character work all day and night. But I am also, like I said, I also do recognize that Mans is doing his thing. All right, there you go. And he has a jiu-jitsu school or something like that?
Oh, does he really have that? I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has a school. I know he studies it, but I'm not sure if he has a school in it. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Have to look into that. But yeah, no.
Sorry, I just have to say this, because I don't think I've ever said this out loud before. MVP stands for Montel Vontavious Porter.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, continue.
Oh shit! Oh man!
I just found that out.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I've known that for years.
Oh man, I wasn't around for his original run.
Oh yeah.
That is something special.
Is that not the bougiest name ever?
Of all time.
For someone they're trying to promote as a thug from the streets.
Carlton Banks.
Exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, and I'm not
Well, if we so rich.
You know what I mean? It's so hard being this rich. It's so hard having all this money.
That is.
I don't know what to spend it on.
Montel Vontavious Porter. That is the bougiest name of all time,
Bro.
son.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley is the only one that I can think of right now that compares.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of another brother who has a bougier name than Montel Vontavious Porter. And I think it's the third.
Is it, well, maybe.
He
I
might
don't
be
know,
the
it's not
third.
on there because his real name is like Hamad Hassan.
Is it?
Yeah. My man. Let's see.
Yeah, you sound Muslim, bro.
Montel Hassan Hamin Assad.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah, he is. He was born in Miami. Yeah, Miami, Florida.
So he converted to Muslim or Islam?
Maybe. Yeah, he was. Yeah, birth name Alvin Antonio Burke Jr.
See what I'm talking about, bro?
Alvin.
Like, come on. I'm not hating. My name's David. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go by the block, so maybe I tried to harden myself up a little bit.
I will say, Alvin is not a name that screams been through the struggle or been through the shit just on the basis. But man, from Florida, he had to do something.
Yeah, you know, especially if it's Miami, because you know them Dade police don't give a damn.
Well, and yeah, like when did he convert to Islam and change his name to 86 things?
Oh my goodness. Nah, well he's giving
wow.
What?
He's got a fucked up disease.
Oh shit.
He was diagnosed in 2007 with Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, which causes the heart to beat faster than normal.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, it was detected. It was detected by a routine checkup with the WWE's wellness policy.
Yeah.
And they said that if they hadn't gone through that, it actually would have gone undetected until it was too late.
Wow. Shout out to WWE for having a wellness policy that saved the dude.
Save man's life.
You know what I mean?
That shit sounds scary.
Tell me that shit's choreographed, motherfuckers.
Yeah, no disease that has both Wolff and Parkinson's in it is good.
No. Parkinson's on its own is bad. Wolff on its own is bad. Wolff, Parkinson's? That's like saying ghetto brother.
Yeah, that's Parkinson's that's foaming at the teeth.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I'm ready to bite your ass.
Come on. Speaking of a bite, this was one hell of a fight. Randy Orton defeated Edge in a singles match to close off the night.
Yeah, I don't even want to tell people what happened during the match, other than to say, fucking watch this match, everybody. This match, everyone who listens knows that I was against the hype train.
And I quote, 2 40-year-olds? Greatest match ever? Come on, bro. Come on, Vince.
Yep. And so I'm not willing to say it was the greatest single match of all time, but it's fucking up there. It is a incredible piece of wrestling.
Where would you rank it in the top 10? Would it rank in the top 10?
It ranked in my top 5.
Okay.
Maybe top 5 for sure. Maybe top 4, but I would say it's somewhere. It sits somewhere between 4 and 5.
Okay, here's a question before you go on. Where does it rank compared to Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart in the Iron Man match? Time-wise aside, like time limit aside.
Yeah. Time limit aside, I'd say they're pretty close to each other. I think Bret versus Shawn in the Iron Man match is my number 3.
Okay.
My number 1 is. I just realized Bret is in my top 3 twice. My number 1 is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. The I Quit match where Stone Cold is bleeding profusely out of his face, and passes out in the sharpshooter.
Okay.
I think for me, that's my number one. My number two is a very close second. Like, I kind of go back and forth on which one is my favorite, depending on which one I've seen most recently. But Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat WrestleMania 3 is, for me, about as close to perfection as you'll ever get. Like, it's fucking, that's a fucking goddamn good match, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, that being my top five there, basically, is like, that's saying something for this Randy and Edge match, that it is up there, especially considering my distaste for the marketing of it.
And Bret and Stone Cold were like in their early 30s.
Yeah.
During those matches.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think Macho Man and Steamboat were in their 40s, though.
I don't know if they were 40s. I think they were 30s.
30s?
Still.
30s?
Yeah,
okay.
I think they were probably 35-ish.
Okay.
But, yeah, this match was fucking phenomenal. It is a giant love letter to wrestling. It is a 44-minute love letter to wrestling. That is exactly what it is. They pulled out moments from old matches. They were doing speaking of Ricky, they're doing the Ric Flair versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat slaps or chops from the ground thing, where they just keep going back and forth without even getting back to their feet. They're just leaning over and smacking the shit out of each other's chest. They hit each other with like 100 million legendary finishers from other wrestlers, including this is one that I will say I thought was very clever, was Kurt Angle had picked Edge to beat Randy Orton on Raw the week before in like a little short vignette, and because of that, as a kind of a fuck you, Randy hit Edge with the Olympic Slam. Which is
golden.
A nice little touch. Like, once again, that's one of those things where I've been talking about, like, Randy is amazing at the little things. Mm-hmm. And that's very clever stuff. So yeah, my review of that match is go fucking watch it, anybody who hasn't watched it, because it is a special match. This is one of those ones that you really have to see.
And that wraps it up for most things WWE.
Yes, sir.
What else we got going on for the card where it comes to UFC?
So UFC Fight Night that was supposed to be in Saskatoon, but because of everything, was actually done at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was good. There was a lot of really kind of crazy fight stuff on there, especially for a card that if you look up what people were talking about this card, like the shit people were talking about this card in the lead up to it after it was announced, if you believed anything you had read online from people like that, you would have thought that this card was not worth watching at all. But that was absolute nonsense, because there were definitely some decisions, but like all the decision fights were really good fights. They were kicking the living shit out of each other. But beyond that, there were on the prelims, the first 3 fights on the card all ended by KO, all within the first round, all within the first minute.
Wow.
Yeah, Christian Aguilera, not Christina, Christian Aguilera, knocked out Anthony Ivy in 59 seconds for the first fight. Tyson Nam I was rooting for that guy. Tyson Nam KO'd Zaruk Adashev in 32 seconds, and then as if to say, anything you can do, I can do better. As if to be a Street Profit or Viking Raider or Viking Prophet, my girl, fucking Thug Panda, Julia Avila, knocked out Gina Mazzani in 22 seconds.
Thug Panda. Wow.
Yeah, Thug Panda.
Wow.
So she like straight up was just not. It basically was a thing of like the guys came out, impressive knockouts, and the girl was like, "Fuck you, I can do that," and then just was like, went full fucking beast mode and crushed this fucking bitch immediately. 22-second knockout. That was great. We had Mirab Valish. Okay, this name. You know I'm pretty good with the names usually.
I was surprised to hear that struggle right there.
This one's bad. This one's real bad.
Okay, bear with him. We've been doing this for about 50 weeks now, and he hasn't really even struggled on one, so give him this one.
Yeah, I know these names usually. I cannot remember. This pronunciation's awful. I'm sorry, Mirab. His name is Mirab Valishvili. I think that's it. Valishvili. Too many D's.
Sorry, it's just what it is. I already have my other computer that I can do my productions on, so this computer right here is I'll just download Cubase on it when I get the next one. Call it a day. Yep. That has nothing to do with wrestling right now, except for the fact that if y'all want to sponsor that acquisition, feel free to send it. Feel free to forward, you know what I mean, some funds to blockbasics@gmail.com by way of email, money transfer. We accept that. Donations will be accepted but are not expected, and we are looking to expand our set. Maybe find a central location. Either way, it is what it is.
Yeah. The other thing, donations will be expected for this one. Buy Block and Me PS5.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Just do it.
With WWE 2K21.
Yeah, mine's going to be cheap. I want the digital one. My man wants a disc drive. He's all fancy with it.
Oh, yeah. I got to go retro. I got to, you know what I mean? Because I go to, I occasionally go to those novelty stores, and I look for those old games, you know what I mean? So it's got to be. It's got to be.
Well, and you know what? It is a good choice with the PS5 because the rumor is that in the future it will gain the ability to play PS1, PS2, and PS3 discs straight from it, like backwards compatibility mode. So disc drive might be the way to go, but I buy all my games digital now, so I don't need an extra piece that could go wrong. Not that it will, like it's gonna be made.
Oh, they don't want it to go wrong in my house. It could go wrong in anybody else's house, but if it goes wrong in my house, I'm getting a brand new everything. Like, you're sending me the VR equipment, you're sending me the motion equipment, the camera, all of that. Discounts.
Oh, yeah.
Holla at your boy. Yeah. So the next pay-per-view is Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this track will be done definitely before that.
Yeah, and I think Extreme Rules, I think that's where we're going to get the blow-off match for Ray versus Monday Night Messiah. So expect a heel turn at Extreme Rules, bitches.
In some way, shape, or form. It's either Dominic or Humberto.
Yeah, I'm calling it. It's got to be one of those two. I gave them two perfect plans last week.
One of them's going to come out. I'm telling you. My wife tweets WWE every week we do this podcast, fam. Yeah, someone listens.
If they don't follow, if they don't take at least one of those, then I don't know what they're doing.
They're not listening. They're not listening well enough, and we got to talk louder.
Exactly.
We got to talk louder.
I'm gonna get myself a Jimmy Hart megaphone and stand outside Titan Towers like a motherfucker.
I don't think you understand how close I was to ordering a megaphone, though. It's only like $40, eh?
Oh, do they sell Jimmy Hart megaphones?
I don't know if they sell Jimmy Hart megaphones, but I know a certain company that I'm not going to promote. I know a certain company I'm not going to promote on the air has megaphones for like $40.
I thought you were going to say that WWE was selling a Jimmy Hart megaphone, and I was like, okay, purchase. I'm buying it as we speak.
Let me check this out here. Let me see WWE shot. Let me check. I'll check right now.
That beautiful pink fucking jacket.
No, they don't have one?
No, I don't think so.
No.
It makes sense, I guess. He hasn't been around for, a couple years.
Yeah. Yeah, but you never know. If you might find out another site.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure somebody's made has a fan made replica type thing going. Because that'd be cool.
All right. So yeah, I think that covers everything. Oh, by the way, just so we mentioned them, AEW, NJPW, ROH, still not up yet. Still not up yet. So when we get some news from them, we will let you know.
Yep. AEW's up and running, but once again, it's just there's a lot of fucking wrestling every week, gentlemen. Like we can only do so much. We're only two men.
If y'all want to hear more, then y'all feel free to let us know though, and we'll cover what we can. Yeah. That being said, I think we're done.
We're done.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. See ya.
Peace.